Ooh, what's up? I'm back. Man, crazy couple days. Boy, Kobe and stopped the world. It ain't much that do that, man. It was a powerful dude, dog. Guess it's gonna be my Kobe video to what I have to say and pay my respects on my understanding of what he brought to this world, especially from a spiritual perspective. I know just me putting Kobe tribute or Kobe whatever gonna bring certain people. So go ahead, put that in context now. This is gonna be a little bit spiritual for the most part, but it's gonna be a little psychological and philosophy and bringing up Mamba mentality and everything. But I've been seeing a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a few people talk about how it's kind of weird how Kobe's overshadowing, or it's kind of messed up how Kobe's overshadowing the other people that died. And no disrespect to them, and this everything I'm about to say don't mean that Kobe was technically better than him, because at the end of the day, we're all one, and my message will end up showing that. But I was basically saying. Um, the reason that Kobe overshadowed them is just natural. The work that he put in over time and how he influenced millions to probably even, uh, maybe even billions of people if you consider people that didn't die. Maybe, you never know. He been around for 20 years, 20 some odd more than that years. You never know how many people he truly affected. But just understanding that um, he's going to overshadow many people, and most people that he stand next to, he gonna overshadow, maybe besides Jordan and maybe besides LeBron right now. But at this point, he'll overshadow them because he died, and we know when people die, people get naturally bigger. So it's just a natural thing for that to happen. So that's like I don't think people should really get caught up in that, because it's just the way of life and how things shine and how things are put together. Like, the reason that he shines in the center of attention is because the work that he put in on his life and over time. Like, he cultivated his light, he cultivated his spirit, and he really affected the world in many ways in his own way. Um, and that's why he overshadowed him. It's not because he's a celebrity. Um, I mean, you end up becoming a celebrity just because if you start shining so bright, this world looks to capitalize on it, and that ends up being a celebrity in a sense, so, or some form of that. But you could look at it that way, but that's like the shallow version of looking at why he overshadowed him. Um, I hate to bring it up because people will easily be like, "What the fuck? Why are you comparing Jesus to Kobe Bryant?" But if you know me, that's nothing to do. Like, I do that in a heartbeat. But even when Jesus had died, he had two other people that was crucified with him. Yeah, we mention them still to this day because what happened and who was involved with. So at that same rate, they will always be remembered. Those other eight people that died will always be remembered just on the fact that they died with Kobe. So you gotta think about that as well. It's not always overshadowing. Like, he also carried them over, in a sense, if you want to look at it that way, because they're gonna be remembered forever. Maybe not their names, but like, we won't forget that it was those other people. I know that for a fact. Same with the Jesus story. You don't necessarily remember the other two people's name, but you know what they stood for. You understand, like, it had many reasons and spiritual, examples to that. If you want to correlate it, that's what I would say. But yeah, like I said, those we will always remember those two dudes that died with Jesus, like how we'll always remember the people that died with Kobe. And it's just the same fact of that's how bright his light shines, that we also care about the people that died around him and not just about him. And I mean, that's kind of how the world should always be, but I can say that this world is not built that way at all. But because, yeah, I think about this mass shootings. We don't think about none of those people after a couple months pass by. I can't say everybody's like that, but most, for the majority of how we move and how things keep going, this is not something that's just going to go by, and people is just not going to just forget about it. Like, Kobe is stuck in people's hearts because of the work he put in and the amount of light he shined. Um, and like I said, it was what he deserved it, and he deserved a celebration. He deserves to be talked about like this. But for me, it shouldn't be getting lost in emotions and sadness. And of course, for people that's closer to him, that's natural. You can't control that. That's just the effects he had on you. You can't even control that emotion, because that's how powerful that was. Just like how if your mom or something was to die, it's something that inseparable in between you and your father or some of your brother or siblings or something like that. It's inseparable. So imagine somebody that's not inseparable creating that effect on you. That's how bright that man shined. That's how hard he went about his work and affected others. Because there's people that said they've never cried about somebody that's never been in their family, or that died that's not like close or related or just close to them, like a close friend. And they cried like they never cried over celebrity death before. And as many people that's testifying to them crying and getting sad to that. So it's understanding that powerful impact. And I'll even look at it too when he didn't have that impact where people was crying just when they walked. Or maybe, I'm sure it was a few people that fucking fainted when he walked in the room and shit like that. But I was just going to bring up the same Michael Jackson effect. How Michael Jackson used to just walk on stage and people passing out and getting that church effect. Because that's how powerful that person is. They can't even just understand being in that person's presence, because that's how bright that person is shining. Like they're literally blinding them and putting them in like paralysis, like on some shit. And it's many ways to do that in the sense of just enacting people's emotions, but as far as them, that was just natural of them being themselves. Like Kobe would do that, just being himself, just from practicing and working on his craft, just like how Michael Jackson was one of the best at his craft. He just was so hard about it since a little kid. For both of them was hard about it. So of course they're gonna affect the world. Like, they were one of the greatest, and they started from a young age, bro. What do you call those? I forgot what you call those kind of not prodigies, but I don't know what you call them, but you just know. You just be knowing from a young age they're gonna be that's their shit. But what else I have to say about that? Yeah, kind of going back into the center of attention. Like most rooms that Kobe walked into, most rooms that people that cultivate their light walk into, they're usually a center of attention. You don't have to be famous or a super big mega star yet, or you could be around lower light people or lower dimmer light people and be at work or be at a party, and you can just see how everybody want to talk to you or how everybody want to gravitate towards you. And maybe it's not you at every party, but you could tell at some parties you had you was the center of attention versus other parties somebody else may have had it. And that just going to how we don't necessarily overshadow people. Like we reflect light as well as shine that light. So if it's like iron sharpen iron, so if your light is bright and my light is bright, our shit is just going to combine and just be as brighter type shit. It's not going to cast a shadow on another light, because that's not how light works, I believe. The light will just amplify and add on. Even if that other light is brighter, it's just going to add on. Unless they're clashing or some shit like that. But as far as like merging and being harmonizing as far as lights and being in us, yeah, it's not really a foreshadowing thing. You just get added on. And like I said, even for the Kobe and those other people that died, his name will always be brought up first because he's the brightest light, and he overshadowed those 8 people and many others besides them. But it's just saying he overshadowed those 8 people, but it's also combined with them. That's why we'll never forget. So like I said, it's not really overshadowing when, like I said, you might be in rooms where you see other people shining, and y'all might be having a room together. Y'all both be joking and talking, and everybody listening to y'all stories. That's how it is with me and my friends. And it's not like we're fucking famous, or I guess you can call us local. We're local stars. But I don't know if y'all know that fucking joke they used to be saying, calling people local used to be hilarious. But yeah, like when you can tell how you can influence the room. So just imagine, like I have these weird complexes, not even weird, but these awesome complexes in my head where if I just started a conversation in the middle of a Walmart and with me and my friends, and we literally was talking like our normal voices, and people heard what we were talking about. Over time, we would start attracting people and more people until they eventually, nobody was in Walmart shopping, they was listening to us. And I feel like you could do that in any kind of environment if you have the balls to do it, or if you have a way about doing it. And I mean, people have done that for many ages. If just saying, but I why was I bringing it up? Just saying how people could shine together. Basically, you could be in a room, no matter how big the room is, and we see it with the 85 South show. We see it with stand-up comics. Like, there's one fucking star standing, and all these other people around are just absorbing their light and their content and their art. And like I said on Twitter, our art is literally our sun rays to affecting other people and shining so other people can see. And this is gonna get into my kind of Mamba mentality a little bit, maybe a little bit, we'll see. But like I said, they'll be standing up, and there's this one person. Or if you look at a team, whenever you do team sports, that's why I say you don't overshine people. If you're a good team and it's no real clashing and it's harmonization, y'all shine together and y'all win together. And it may be people that are shining brighter. It may affect the team a lot more than others, but at the end of the day, that team won the championship all the way down to the dude that washed the clothes, to the dude that facilitated. Everybody gets a ring, because they all were a part of that team being successful. Because if they had dirty clothes, people wouldn't have the right mentality. The fact that niggas got clean clothes that everybody cares and that everybody bought in. And that's how you know when it's not that it's an overshining thing. Now, it can be in toxic places where you could be in work where people don't understand your light. People don't understand how to cultivate with you, so they start trying to pull you down and nitpick your light. And I know people get that all the time. That's why I say you don't have to be a super mega star. You can just be the brightest star in the room, and that might not be saying much about the room. You could just be in bad rooms, and that need to also say about you. If you got always around people that nitpicking and pulling you down, obviously it's time for you to work on getting in better spaces. As far as like, it could be these negative bad friends that you put yourself around, or it could be a bad job, and you gotta understand, bro, there's always gonna be gossip people and jobs you gotta start creating for yourself, so you can control the people that's around you. Because you can't control who this job hires. They can hire anybody because they, whatever reasons. So yeah, just understanding how it kind of works, bro. Like I said, you don't have to be mega. You could be in this you could be at work, bro, and I understand, like, bro, whenever I'm in a conversation at work, niggas think the worst of it. I cannot talk at work. If I talk at work, I'm fucking everything up at work, and it's my fault, even though all my shit good. If somebody else fucking up, it's my fault because they were talking like even if everything is going good, the fact that we talking, bro, people just have an urge to think something about it. Like, me and Malachi talk at work, bro. They'll naturally either think we talking about them, or like not giving a fuck about the job, and that's based on their insecurities and them not having high enough lights to understand what we doing here. And they'll kind of nitpick and try to pull at us and call us shit and play us and shit like that. And it's like, bro, for what? And it's like we couldn't understand it for shit, and it's just because they don't understand how to work with us, because our light's so bright. Bro, you'll see them act like they come up to us and just start talking like a robot, bro. Like, every time, like, cause they literally didn't know how to approach us. So every time they come up to us, they talk about the numbers of the store and how we think we need the numbers should be good today. So stay focused and stuff like that. It's like, bro, nobody worry about the numbers, bro. We're here to work. But every time he come talk to me, that's the only thing he could ever say, because he always thinking I'm saying something negative about the job, and he needs some type of way to prove to me. And them and their little system and how they look at last year's numbers is everything to them. Every day they branching up the numbers, so that's the only way they know how to come at certain people, certain service, especially for whatever reasons, bro. Like, if y'all don't believe me, they literally didn't hire this girl just because she was so good of a server, a bartender. She's been a bartender for 8 years. She just moved from like West Virginia or some shit. She was a bartender out there for 8 years. She came down here, bro, and they literally didn't hire her because they was like, another bartender she gonna take another bartender time that sucks. And bro, at best, she's gonna help all the other bartenders get better, not taken from other people. But the fact they don't know how to work with good people, they just nitpicking or don't want you to be there. So yeah, when you work with low level people, bro, it's especially when you working in jobs, bro, because you understand, bro, these people didn't work on cultivating themselves. That's why they're working for other people's light and cultivating other people's light, because that's a big thing that we're doing. I wanted to put that on Twitter, but it's hard to kind of tweet that. But a lot of things, and I'm gonna get into the religious stuff. You can hate me or not. If you believe in Jesus, or I'm not even believing in Jesus, but if you believe that he's your savior and stuff like that, I understand, that's cool. But you're cultivating that light of him, and if you believe that will get you some benefit and some gain, keep doing it. I can't knock that, but understand you're helping cultivate the light of Jesus, and that's fine. If you think that's the right thing to do, I can't knock it. And like I said, if you listen to a lot of my videos, I understand the real Jesus Christ energy and what he was saying, and not what others say about him. If you really break down a lot of the things he said, I fuck with it. I rock with it. So if you cultivate that light, you're technically just cultivating the light in you, because that's what his message was, his true message. But often people don't share that, so that's why I kind of preference that. But we even past the Jesus stuff and religious and stuff like that, with our jobs, we're helping cultivate their life. We're helping them make money, and we're helping them grow way bigger than we're helping grow ourselves. We're barely maintaining our light and our food and our survival, and that's all a part of our light too. It's not just that, but that's a big part of it too. So we help cultivate their light more than ours. So toxic relationships, you may be helping cultivate that person more than yourself. Toxic parents, they me. We got a lot of parents out here that just me. Whatever I say, whatever I want. They want their life still is more important than yours for some reason, and they credit you, and they should whatever. But we have those. It's many examples of living for others and doing for others, and it's not necessarily wrong. Like I said, if you putting yourself around people that should be the well deserving of that. That's why I say when you understand how your light affects others, and how dim lighted people tend to not use your light the best, especially if you don't understand, their influence and their shine or whatever, that can affect you in certain ways. But how would I want to say? That's getting a little too deep, but what was I going to say? Fuck. Digging into the light. Well, when you understand how light works, you start to understand the center of attention and all that different things. You start to look for other people that's the center of attention in most of the rooms that they're in. And like I said, you start to looking for iron sharpening iron. You start to look for lights that's matching your energy or even more, so you can figure out how to shine brighter. It's that Goku versus Vegeta versus Beerus, that helps Beerus from being coached by Beerus and his dude. If you watch if you watch Dragon Ball Z, to many other examples of where there's that competition and rivalry that helps us grow, and we use it as motivation or a chip on our shoulder to get better. We start being around people like that, and versus some people even like being around dimmer lights. Let's even go back into that, just because it makes them feel better about themselves. Vice versa, some people hang around brighter lights just to feel better about themselves and be like, hey, look who I'm around. But like I said, the other way of looking at it, some people like to be around that because they like, if I'm around this low level shit, I feel better about myself because look what I'm doing in my life, even though that ain't shit, because look what you comparing it to. If you look up a little bit, just a little bit higher, you'll be like, damn, I really ain't shit, and I can get better. And that's the purpose of lights outshining others. If you want to go back to that, like in the saying, like, or why other people shine so much brighter, is because we always need a constant light to shine, so we can see, because we're walking in darkness. If you want to say we're walking in the valley of the shadows of death or whatever the hell, but we're basically walking through darkness in this world, and with other people art and other people light, they help us see and help us get through shit. And when they help us learn how to shine our light, and first it starts off as this little candle, and it's hard to see your path. Like as you walking, bro, it's hard to stay on track because that candle is not getting the ground lit enough to see where these curves and shit is twisting. So you all in a rough and shit like that, and way off path because you can't see, and you gotta wait till somebody that's shining bright enough to be like, oh shit, I see it now, my path is over there. I was way over here. But eventually your shit starts to be a lighter, and then maybe a phone light or whatever. You just get brighter and brighter and brighter to maybe like stadium lights, and then to you like maybe like moonlight, to maybe a small star, to maybe to get into a mega star. And imagine how the brighter you shine, you be like, oh damn, I see my path clear as day. But the brighter you shine, you start to open up and help other people start seeing their path, because you're shining so bright. Your path, not only your path is shining, but everybody else is that's even near or similar to yours is shining too, because how synchronicity works, where your path is going, the other path that's even near or close going to be somewhat similar to yours in a sense. And that goes into a lot of different things, but yeah, man, that's how that works. So it's not necessarily that these people are overshining, but it's the fact that they cultivated their life so hard that they're shining for centuries, and they're helping people see and find their way for centuries. That's why I bring up the Jesus. You can bring up Martin Luther King, even though it ain't been centuries yet. They're going to affect the Malcolm X is going to affect the world. And even other people that's undiscovered is going to come back out and affect the world, because we had this dark age of people literally eclipsing information and throwing information away. But that stuff will all be tapped back into somehow, some way, and we'll start to find and uncover a lot of things. Like I said in video before, the Vatican got libraries that's 3 miles long. Imagine other libraries that's even probably bigger or just as big that got so much eclipsed information that we can't see their light. And that's when I was saying that might get too deep. But we do have, there's other types of versions of light. There's dark light, like if you could look at it like black holes, that'll be like light that sucks, drains your light type shit. And that's who we kind of work for, in the sense of this parasitic ass capitalism ass world. It's a mean ass void that just keep trying to drain the fuck out of our light and hope that it can last longer. That's capitalism for you. That's shit. Most of these, I forgot what these games are called that they use. Any chessboard they use from totalitarian, fuck. That's the communism, totalitarianism, whatever them words are. But all them different games they like to play with them, with their people, they're all just ways to drain and suck out those people light, so that government or that those corporations could last longer. And yeah, that's when I was saying it kind of gets too deep. But like I said, it's gonna, some people have been eclipsed, but eventually that eclipse will end, and their shit even come back out. So bro, like I said, some people in shine so long, they're still helping people way after they're gone, way after they stop making shit. They'll still affect this world, especially with the internet being out and this being probably the greatest library that we have at the moment. But yeah, man, that's just going back into, like I said, we walking through darkness, man, and we have to find ways to shine. We have to find ways to keep that passion inside of us, that flame burning. And like I said, just imagine Goku. The nigga just when he got a T up, and he going to what do you call it, Super Saiyan, and he get that bright aura around him, bro. Imagine how much he could see around, like in the sense of, if you could just do that when you're surrounded by darkness, if you could just do that, imagine how much more comfortable you would be now that you can have something that could penetrate that darkness, which is the only thing that could penetrate darkness is light. But yeah, man, it's that game that we're playing, and I wanted to see how I could tie in the Mamba mentality, because it does tie in, and I guess it's that constant. That's what Mamba mentality was teaching us: how to have that passion, how to have that rage inside of us. And as he leaves this, as just his physical body leaves this world, his spiritual presence and his light will still be here. I can't say all of his spirit is still, because whatever, but he's still shining here. And what he was truly trying to teach us was how to be just like him, and it's crazy, bro, because he mirrored MJ, because he's seen the passion. And what's funny is he might last longer than MJ in the eyes of the as far as he might outshine MJ, maybe because he died first or whatever. But in that same sense, he took what MJ did and branded it for his own self. And MJ did it, many other athletes, many other people did it, but he took it and branded it as a mentality. And we all would be like, LeBron ain't got that fire, LeBron ain't got that it, or he ain't got that whatever, that dog in him. That's what we'll say. We had many different ways of pronouncing it, but now as Kobe died, people gonna be like, he don't have that Mamba mentality, and that's going to constantly keeps being said and said. And I think that might, at the end of the day, be his 6th ring over Jordan, or his 6th ring to be just as good as Jordan, if you want to just whatever. Or you could say his Oxford was his 6th ring, and then that could be his 7th ring. I'm just saying, because he was like, he already said that he felt like he got something that Jordan could never get, and that is shining his light a little bit brighter outside of another. Hey, I was gonna get into it. But like I said, he might end up beating Jordan at the end because of the things he did after his career. He got out of that basketball lane and expanded his world and his light even more. He cultivated his light even more. He didn't just stop after he retired after the game he loved. He found even more passion and went even harder. And that's why he was so dangerous, because a lot of people can't do that after that big breakup, or after that big divorce, or after that big after you lose that big job, or after you didn't graduate and you failed out, or you had an unexpected. It's so many reasons people use as excuses not to keep shining after that, and they lose their way. They become addicted to opioids, alcohol, or materialism, or many other things that just keep them distracted from their path. And like I said, bro, you got to keep shining. You got to keep that Mamba mentality, because that's the only way that we can. That's our best way to shine. And like I said, he showed it. He showed it for however long he was. He showed it. But I don't have to make this an hour-long video, man. I think that I would hope that y'all understood from what I was saying, and hopefully he inspired y'all, and I can help y'all understand what he was trying to do a lot better. But don't get emotional, don't get caught up in it, because at the end of the day, he just was graduating to the next level. Like I said, we're gonna keep shining. They don't go nowhere. We're infinite, man, and that's the truth. I know it's hard for people to believe that, but even your Bible say there's an afterlife. It's more to this. So yeah, like I said, man, don't get caught up in that. Like I said, I know if people are close to him, or if you was truly a super fanatic, it's gonna hurt. But I get it. He was a powerful person. If you really use his light not to just be a follower and understand what his light was doing and what he was doing with his own energy, bro, what he did could help you so much more. He was more than just an entertainer. He was more than just a great basketball player. This man was a fucking alchemist. This man was more than that as too, but the man was if you really wanted to understand how to keep on your path, he's a good example. He's a good example, man. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Can't even say rest in peace, because I know it never ends. I would say it, but bro, even when we sleep, we don't rest. We dream. We're doing dream work, then spiritual work, and our body's working to heal. It's working even harder than when it was up. So that's just how I look at life. So ain't nothing changed. His baby girl graduated, on to the next. But yeah, that's all I got, man. I think that's it, man. Deuces, I'm out. Peace.